While the rice is ripe in southwest Louisiana, past damage is still in focus here. Brandon Vail is running the combine today in his rice field, and close behind his dad Martin is in the grain cart. The wood paneling you see here isn't a trend. It's damage recently repaired from Hurricane Laura.
I initially planted April 9th and then had to replant April 28th, and I finished up May the 8th. So I'm late this year on my rice. I mean, I've never started planting rice that late.
This is what some of the rice dryers look like after Laura. As you can see, some of the damage has been repaired in the last year, but the Vails are still having trouble finding parts, material, and labor to make them whole.
I got on a list to get stuff put up last February. I had roofs completed on my bins the second week of July. So, I mean, I've got enough capacity to cut the crop that I have.
The last year has brought even more storms and other disasters. This culvert that was blown 800 yards away in Laura was brought back during Hurricane Delta that followed. Now there's the Delta variant from COVID, unending rain, and earlier this year, a winter storm that hurt their cattle. But every cloud has a silver lining, and this spring brought a lot of silver light.
Thankfully, she was born pretty healthy. She stayed in NICU for 22 days, but still pretty healthy. She weighed exactly 4 pounds. She did get her first tractor ride because Brandon went to a meeting and forgot that he had ordered some rice, so the guy showed up with the rice. I had to unload it, and so I had to put her in a little holster and get on the tractor and unload the rice.
Danielle says little Amelia has brought them a sense of purpose they've never known, even with on and off farm jobs and plans for the future. It's hard not to see her point. A bundle of joy desperately needed in southwest Louisiana, where signs of the previous year are still too abundant in the rural countryside.
For a little while, I think Brandon maybe toyed with the idea of stopping farming. And now having a baby and having somebody to teach all of this to kind of changes his mind. You know, she'll get to see the rice and the cattle and the tractors, and he'll be able to teach her all these things that a lot of kids don't get to learn.
Now, Brandon also told me that due to delays from rain and his equipment breaking down, he expects to be harvesting into the second week of September. And guys, I also heard from his neighbor, Jordan Aguilar, who you might remember from last year, who not only had all that damage from the wind and hail and from the hurricanes, but he also didn't have his crop insured. Fortunately, he is still back in. He's pretty much in the same situation as the Vails. He's repairing his rice bins as time goes on, and he's trying to get in, and he is in his fields harvesting right now.
What amazes me is how little has happened in that part of Louisiana, that we're this far out from the storm, and there still has not been any federal emergency money that's made its way there. The mayor of Lake Charles even went on a video campaign to try and get the word out about the situation there, and it's really sad. We have friends there who still haven't fixed their roofs, still don't have a house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
It is, and it's very sad going down there. The trees have seemed to make more of a recovery than many of the people there. I mean, blue tarps are still all around everywhere you go. I mean, you can see it in some of the video in the package of, you know, stuff that's tipped over that hasn't been back, hasn't been repaired, hasn't been anything done with. And part of that is just that holdup in federal emergency relief.
Well, you've been down there, so you know. Carl and I were there in the spring of last year.
Right.
He was right in the bullseye. He is literally a mile from the Gulf, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. And when Laura came ashore, that was the first person that I thought about, because they are so close to right where it hit.
And you know, they're a young farm couple, and I mean, as you know, being a young farm couple, if the weather's perfect and the prices are right, it's hard enough on you as is. These are people who haven't been through, or they're in one of the hardest hit industries in rice, and then they had 2 storms on top of that, the freeze, all the damage, the constant rain. I mean, they're still going though. It's just, it shows it's a reflection of their character.
Thank God they're resilient. Thank you very much, Neil Melancon.